Hey there, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice. Welcome. Welcome to the Seaver experiment. This is where we play Seaver's 1983 season. Back to the Mets. And we play it with different game systems, and then we compare and contrast the data when we conclude. And just to get a general idea of where each system stands and reproducing a kind of realistic simulation of the season stats. So I thought this would be an interesting project to begin, and I started it about 6 or 7 months ago. And between seasons, I take a break and I play other things, of course, and then I come back to it. I'm not totally sure what system I will do next, but I am taking suggestions. I may do back to basics. That would be interesting. Or I would do. I was thinking back to basics, status pro, or inside pitch. One of those three. All right. So where are we right now? We are joining the action in the top of the fourth inning. The Mets are up 2-0. Actually, it's the bottom of the fourth. Bill Goligson is going to face the Mets' Brian Giles, Junior Ortiz, and Tom Seaver. Giles is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Mets got their runs in the bottom of the first on a walk, and then a double by Strawberry, and then it was an RBI double by Strawberry, and then he moved to third on a single, and then there was a fielder's choice when the Montreal Expos, who the Mets are playing, tried for a double play. So it's Montreal at New York. Here, October 1st, 1983. Wow, it seems like yesterday. Crazy how time flies. What is this? Almost 40 years ago. Wow. Hard to believe. So our time on this earth is limited, not to be dark, but we need to do the right thing, treat people the right way, and kind of be tolerant of others, try to help others when we know they're headed down the wrong direction, down the wrong path. Try to not let money influence our behavior, do things for the principle, and I think it'll be a better world if we did that. So I am, oh wow, that big. All right, we're ready to go. And what I'm going to do is while Seaver pitches, I'm going to keep playing the game. Once Seaver's done, I'm going to put the game aside. I'll finish it on my own. And then I want to get to the data, because I think ultimately that's, if it's a really good game, I'll play it through. But let's start the game here. Let's continue the game here in the bottom of the fourth. Brian Giles, Junior Ortiz, the catcher, and Tom Seaver. So I will pull cards for this. I've been rolling dice until this point. Now I'm going to start pulling cards. That's a 4. That's in play. In play 36, and that is going to be a ground ball and through for a base hit. So Brian Giles is on at first. Now his stealing is a 4C. So if we pull a 4, he's going to go. I'm pretty aggressive when I play. I just kind of. So let's see what we pull here. Junior Ortiz is up. That's a 12. So that's going to be a potential pickoff. And we're going to use this pickoff chart. And hold rating is an 8, so we're going to look here, and if we roll anywhere, runner out between a 15 and a 19, see what we roll. It's a 40, so runner is safe. So he's back safely. All right, here's a pitch, and it's a 10. That's patient. Patient 99, and it's going to be a fly ball left field. And over there is Timmy Raines. He comes over, settles under it, and squeezes it for the out, one away. Tom Seaver now. Tom Seaver's going to square. Here's the pitch from Goligson. And he's an A bunter. So that will be a good bunt right in front of the plate. Gary Carter, one place to throw, and that's first base. So nice bunt by Tom Terrific. And we got a runner at second base now with 2 outs. Bill Goligson, a right-handed, he was like a pretty, he won 17 games, but had a pretty high ERA, 3.75. Must have had a couple of games there where he really got hit hard because he had 10 complete games in 242 innings pitched. So Bill Goligson, 1983 Montreal Expos, pretty good pitcher. All right, here goes. Here's Mookie Wilson. That's a 7. That's going to be in play. In play 23. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to score a run. Ryan Giles should be a 6, and with 2 outs, he will score. I like how it's abstracted here in payoff pitch. It helps the game move kind of. In other games, I would have to check 3 different areas to figure out if he scored. So RBI single. Mets are up now 3-0. And Wilson goes on a 6. So if we roll a 6, he's going to be running. Here's a pitch to Huey Brooks. That's a 7, so he won't be going. Another in play 25, and that's lined. Base hit, left center field, cut off by the center fielder Dawson. Around second is Wilson. He's headed to third. And Brooks in there with a 2-out single, putting runners on first and third here in the bottom of the 4th. So Gary Carter's going to go talk to Goligson. Got 2 outs, runners on first and third. 3-0 Mets here in the bottom of the 4th. And here's a pitch to Darryl Strawberry, who already doubled home a run earlier in the game. That's an 11. That's a patient 14. That's ball 4. So obviously Goligson was very careful with Strawberry, and he chose to walk him as opposed to let him hit. Now he's going to face the righty George Foster. Foster's 1 for 2. He singled in the first and grounded to the shortstop in the third. Bases are loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. This is a big pitch here. There's some movement in the bullpen for the Expos. I can sense that. Randy Lurch is over there. Who else is over there? Charlie, no, he's a starter. Steve Rogers, another starter. He's their ace, I believe. Where are the relief pitchers for this team? Chris Welsh did a little bit of relieving, but not really a relief pitcher officially. I don't know what I do with him. I don't know where I put him. Oh, that's pretty funny. So let's see if I left him in the set with the Mets, somewhere stuck with the Mets, because the Mets recently played the Expos, and I may have just dropped him into the Mets set. No. So all my relief pitchers have vanished for the Expos. So I may have to bring up the screen. I don't know what I'm going to do. Goligson better get out of this inning. What did I do with all the relief pitchers? That's weird. It's highly unusual. Well, I can find somebody in here that can do some relieving. I'll find somebody. Welsh relieved in a bunch of games. Burris relieved in a bunch of games. There you go. Problem solved. All right. I know they have a lot of other guys. I don't know what I do with them. See if they're in here. No, not in here. All right. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Bill Goligson versus George Foster. Here's a pitch, and that is an 11. That's a patient 12. That's ball 4. That's going to force in a run. RBI for George Foster. Bases are still loaded. And here's Gary Racich. Racich is 1 for 2. He's a Mets farmhand. Gary Racich had 36 at-bats as a right versus right-handed pitching. 3 doubles, a home run. Batted .333, so he's got a pretty good card. So Goligson better watch his step. Here goes. That's an 8. That's going to be a tough 0-2, strike 3, and he blows a fastball by Racich to, luckily for us, to retire the side. But Goligson's been struggling. He's already faced 25 batters, which is almost, an average batter takes about 4 pitches, so that's about 100 pitches right now. So, and we're only in the top of the 5th inning, so we're going to have to probably pull him, but we already got a couple of guys that are going to replace him, so we're good. Here's Tom Seaver facing Brian Little. Then we're going to get to the stats. We're going to compare payoff pitch. How did payoff pitch do compared to Stratomatic and APA, which are really the king of the hills, the oldest games, they're the Cold War games. Here's a pitch from Seaver to Brian. Not actually Brian Little, but he's going to face Tim Raines. Tim the Rock. La Roca. A tough 34, and that is going to be a hard grounder and past the diving second baseman, Brian Giles, for a hit. And of course, Raines runs on a 6. So if we roll 6 or less, he goes. Here's Brian Little. It's a pitch, and there he goes. Throw down is, the ball rolls away from the second baseman. Will Raines go to third? That's the question. Going to pull a card, and it's a 2. No, he does not. He stops. So he decides against it. But he does steal the base. It does not go to third on the error. So no error. Here's a pitch. That's a 10. That's a ballpark. Ballpark 52 against he's batting lefty, so that's going to be ballpark. That's going to be wheelhouse. Wheelhouse pitch, 93. And that's a deep fly ball to right field. This is going to allow Raines to move up on the wheelhouse. And here's Andre Dawson with a runner at third base, 1 out. Here's a pitch to Andre. Andre's 0 for 2. That's an 8. That's a tough pitch, tough 46. And that is going to be a pop-up infield. Shortstop, Bob Baylor makes the catch. Here's Mike Stenhouse. Stenhouse had 39 at-bats against right-handed pitching. Batted 128, so not a very good card, but he did start this game, and he's 2 for 2 in this game. So his 128 average means nothing. So it defies your imagination here, where he's 2 for 2 with a 128 card. But that's the name of the game. Here's a pitch. That's a 6 in play 90. And that is a fly ball to right, and that's going to retire the side. No runs. So that was 2 runs there. I forgot to fill that in with 3 hits and 2 walks. All right, it's going to be 1 hit and no runs, bottom of the 5th. Goligson against Bob Baylor. Baylor's 0 for 2. He's ground out, flied out. Here's a pitch. That's a 6. That's tough. Tough 21. That's a base hit. Slap 1 to left field. Right field, excuse me. Went the other way with it. Bob Baylor steals on a 4. Here's Brian Giles. An 8. That's a tough 73. And 73 is going to be ground ball second base. With that 8, won't be a fielder's choice. Giles is on. Pitch from Goligson. That's a 4. It's in play. In play 56 is a ground ball to third. What do we have? A 4. Giles. Let's see if Giles went on that. Giles did go on that. Let's pull another card, and he is safe, stolen base. And now we're going to roll for Ortiz with a runner at second. That's an 8. That's a tough 34. It's a strikeout. And here's Tom Terrific with 2 outs and a runner on second. That's a 9. A 9's a tough 38. Strike 3 and back-to-back Ks for Bill Goligson. Comes back strong after that leadoff single. Last game of the year, and then we're going to go into the stats. We're going to find out how Payoff pitch matches up to Stratomatic and to APA. This is a year-long project which will continue. Tom Seaver against Terry Francona. Terry Francona is a left-handed batter. He's 24 years old and 83. He had 210 at-bats versus right-handed pitching, batted 271. Not too shabby. He had 11 doubles, 3 home runs, and a triple. Here's a pitch from Seaver. That's a 5. In play 94. It's a fly to right. Strawberry over towards the line and runs it down. Gary Carter's next. Pitch from Seaver. That's a 3. Patient 86, and that's ripped to short. But Baylor gets there, spins, throws to first, and in time to get the slow-footed Carter. 2 down. And here's Timmy Wallach. That's a 4, a tough 58. And that is a line and caught by the second baseman. Giles is right there. 3 up, 3 down for Tom Terrific. So he's having a heck of a game here. He's pitching a shutout. He's got a 2-hit, 3-hit, 4-hit, 5-hit, 6-hit shutout so far. I ordered more sets. I can't function this way. I don't like to during games. It's just ugly. It gives me an ugly feeling. I don't know what that means, but Learning a new game, Fall Classic Baseball. Right about going to do some tutorials. I really want to learn the ins and outs before I share it. I don't want to do it an injustice. I want to be fair to it. I do have some questions, but again, I haven't played enough. I'm up to 11 games. I'm going to play another one tonight after this one. I played 3 innings or 6 innings, and then I started the next day. I try to play, when I learn a new game, I try to play one game every single day for 30 days. That gives me a good feel for the game, and I can play it pretty quick. All right, so I have another game coming in the mail. It's called Time Travel Baseball, and they invited me to a league. I'm going to try to be part of that league. I hope I succeed, because a lot of times leagues have a lot of expectations, and and sometimes I don't fulfill every single expectation the way I should. I will try, definitely try. If it's possible, I will complete. I will be able to do that. All right. So Bill Gullickson's facing Mookie Wilson, who's actually 2 for 2 with a walk, 2 singles. He's scored 2 runs and driven in a run. So Mookie Wilson's having a nice final game here. I believe this is the final game of the year, but not totally sure. October 1st, final game in New York. This is the last time that Tom Seaver pitches at Shea as part of the Mets. I don't know that he ever did again, but this is an interesting game. And I would have paid, man, if I go back in time and go to this game, that'll be what an experience. You're seeing the end of an era, really. The Seaver mystique, the guy who led the way in the '69 Miracle Mets. Nobody believed that a team that just begun, uh, 7 years before in '62 could suddenly go all the way and win the World Series and beat the powerhouse Orioles. What a story that is. I mean, that's a story for the ages. A David and Goliath type story. And it was Seaver's game 4, his pitching performance in game 4 when he won 2-1. He went a complete game, 10 innings. Pretty impressive. Tom, terrific. Rest in peace. Goligson is going to face Mookie Wilson. Here goes. That's an 8. Tough 0-6. That's a strikeout. So Goligson strikes out Wilson. Huey Brooks is up next. Huey Brooks is 1 for 3. That's a 7. That's in play 99. And it's a fly out to left. And the left fielder is Timmy Raines. He gets there easily. And here's Goligson with a ballpark against Strawberry. That's trouble, 63. But that is a little bit beyond. So it's going to be in play 62. And that's a drive in the gap. And Tim Raines, runs it down. Great. It came out of nowhere. Timmy Raines with a star. A little star there. Great catch by Timmy Raines on a ball that Darryl Strawberry scorched into left center field. All right. So here we are on the top of the 7th. Probably Seaver's headed towards the last few innings with the Mets in 1983, and he'll never be a Met again after this point. But maybe he'll be a Met always. He's going to face Angel Salazar, Bill Goligson, which we'll probably see a pinch hitter because the score is 3-0 here in the top of the 7th. And then we will have a pinch hitter. Let's see who we're going to bring in. I'm going to bring in Terry Crowley as a pinch hitter. All right. And then we're going to have probably Ray Burris come in. Okay, Tom Seaver to Salazar is 0 for 1 with an intentional walk. Here's a pitch. That's a 9. It's a patient 65. And that is a ground ball second base. Easy play for the second baseman, Giles. Here's Terry Crowley. He's going to pinch hit. We called it. Out goes Goligson. He's done. 6 innings today. Gave up 3 runs, 3 earned runs. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. Not a great day. And a couple of walks as well. 1, 2, 3 walks, I believe. 3 walks, 5 Ks. And it's Terry Crowley that's left against Seaver. Here's a pitch. That's a 5. It's going to be in play. Puts it in play, but it's going to be a fly ball center field. Mookie Wilson turns on the jets and runs it down. Right, a couple of steps from the warning track. And now it's the top of the order. Tim Rock Raines, who's two for three today. He's got 2 singles and a stolen base. Timmy Raines stole 90 bases. And his card actually has a little cross next to the stolen base section. He's a 6B, but then there's a cross. And I'm not sure exactly what that means. I think that means he steals, automatically gets a lead to steal second. Maybe that's what that means. I got to find out what that means. Anyway, Tom Seaver to Timmy Raines, 6. That's in play. In play 75. And that is a ground ball hit hard at the shortstop. He scoops it. Baylor fires the first, and just gets Raines by half a step. He can fly down that line. And here's George Foster. Ray Burris is the new pitcher. Great thing about payoff pitches, there's no setup time. You just put the cards on the table, and you don't have to. I don't write anything. I just put the cards down, and that's it. I pretty much know, or I sense, or and I double check. But pretty simple. The thing I got to check is the errors in the range, but they're usually around 3. And I usually, I think 80% of the guys are 3s. He only got 5 ratings, and most guys are not 1s, and most guys are not 5s. So it's like usually it's 80% 3s. So it's pretty simple to play. A lot of abstraction, which is good. Makes it very playable. High playability. This game has a high playability factor. That's why it's so many guys gravitate to it. It's not really it doesn't have the depth of detail, but it gives you a nice easy game, and the cards are beautiful, and there's a little prep. So if you don't have a lot of time, to set up everything for hours and hours, you just want to play a quick easy game or a quick easy series, I think payoff pitches is the way to go. But again, like I said, this is one of many very, very fun games that are out there. Ray Burris is going to face George Foster. Here's a pitch. That's a 6. Burris is a tough. He was a 368 with a 4-7 record. So that's going to be a tough. Did I pull the second one? I don't know. I'll do this again. A tough 21. That's a strikeout. So Burris strikes out Foster. Here's Gary Racich with an 11. That's defense. Defense 23. That's definitely going to be an error unless the guy's an A. And I doubt the range. That's going to be a base hit because no, unless he's an A. And is Salazar going to be an A? I don't think so. First of all, Joe doesn't give a lot of A's. That's the first thing. You don't see a lot of A's, and he's actually a D range. So it's a base hit through the hole. A ball that Angel Salazar doesn't even move to get. Racich has got his third hit of his second hit of the day. So he's 2 for. I thought he was 2 for 2, but he is actually 2 for 4. And he was 333, so that makes sense. All right, Bob Baylor with 1 on and 1 out. Racich doesn't really steal. That's a 10. That's ballpark 96. That's in play 73. It's going to be a fly ball center field. On the run is Dawson, and Dawson makes a spectacular grab, running full tilt. Robs Baylor, and here's Brian Giles with 2 out. Pitch to Giles. That's a 4. That's in play, 0-4. That's line base hit. That's going to roll to the wall. And Racich, I don't know if he's a 6, he's going to score. If not, they're going to hold him up. Let's see what he is. He is a 5, so they're going to hold him up. Second and third. Mets are, again, 3-0, and they are threatening again with 2 outs. They're going to walk. They're going to intentionally walk Ortiz to face Tom Terrific. Tom Terrific had a 156 batting average, so he could hit. So we're going to leave Tom in there because he's retired 9 in a row. Here's a pitch to Tom. That's a 9. That's a tough 38, and that's a strikeout. That retires aside. No runs, 2 hits, top of the 8th. Tom Seaver still in there. See if we can get a complete game to say goodbye to his fans at Shea. Tom Seaver is going to face Brian Little here. 3-0 shutout for Tom Terrific. Tough 0-7, strike 3. So Seaver blows a fastball by Brian Little. Big swing by a little guy. That's Seaver's first strikeout of the game. Here's Andre Dawson. That's a 5. That's in play. In play 62, and that is ground ball, third base. Nice play by Hubie Brooks, and he throws out Dawson, 2 down. And here's Stenhouse with an 8 tough. Tough 0-4, strike 3, and that's the second strikeout of the day for Tom Terrific. 3 up, 3 down, just like that. And here's Ray Burris against Mookie Wilson. Leading off the bottom of the 8th, that's a 9. That's a tough 65, and that is a fly ball left field. Timmy Raines is there. Huey Brooks is next. 1 out. 7, that's a tough 0-6, and a strike 3. Third strikeout for Burris. And here's Darryl Strawberry. That's a 5. That's a patient 0-0. That's going to be defense. I switched it. Defense, we're going to have a 31. So that's probably going to be some sort of something going on. Error left field, 31. Left fielder is Timmy Raines. Let's see what kind of error rating they gave him. His error rating is a 3, like most guys, so that means it's going to be an error on Timmy Raines. What kind of an error? 1 or 2 base error. It's going to be a single, and an error on Timmy Raines. So a 2-out single for Strawberry, his second hit of the game, and then an error on Timmy Raines, allowing him to go to second base. All right, so here's George Foster. Pitch to Foster. It's a 9. Tough 72. And that is going to be a ground ball to second. Easy play for Little. Throws him out. No runs, 1 hit. This is it. This is the final inning for Seaver. If he can get through this, we can start looking at the stats. Seaver's going to face Terry Francona, Gary Carter, and Tim Wallach. Here's the pitch. It's a 6. That's in play. In play 12, base hit. That's some action in the bullpen. Gary Carter's next with a 4. That's a tough 0-2, strike 3, third strikeout for Seaver. Gary Carter, down swinging, future Met, Tim Wallach. Tim Wallach is 2 for 3 today. He's got a single and a double, single in the second, double in the fourth, and he lined out. So he's been hitting the ball hard every single time. Tim Wallach batted .268 with 14 home runs. 8 against righties. He had 5 more, so 19 altogether. That's an 8. That's a tough 92, and that's a fly ball. No, it's a ground ball. And this may be a double play. An 8 now will not be. It's going to be a fielder's choice, 6-4. So Wallach is on. Nobody's stealing at this point. Here's a pitch. That's a 6. That's in play 40, and that is a base hit. Salazar singles, and Wallach is going to stop at second base. Decisions. Out comes Frank Howard, going to talk to Seaver. Seaver is pleading his case, saying, hey, listen, this is my last game. Probably my last game ever with the Mets. This is the team that I started my career with. Let me go this one more batter. There's 2 outs. Come on. And it looks like they're going to pull Seaver. Seaver is pleading his case out there. He wants to finish this game. And no, it looks like they're going to let him pitch. Let's hear the crowd. So the crowd is excited now here at Shea Stadium. And it's going to be a pinch hitter. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? All right, looks like it's going to be, let's see what we got here. Don't know. It's going to be Jerry White. Jerry White's coming out. It's a switch hitter. Going to bat lefty versus Seaver. Jerry White batted 22 at bats, 182 batting average. I don't care. Not, he was playing at this time of the year, so 30 years old. But he was with the Expos at this time of the year. He played in the last game I played with him, just like 2 games back, about 5 days ago. All right, so here's the pitch to Jerry White. That's a 7. That's tough 70. And that is going to be a fly ball, center field. Mookie Wilson coming over, makes the catch, and that's the ball game. Tom Seaver. It's done. It is done. All right, so let's get down to business. This is the culmination of 34 games started. The culmination. Tom Seaver right there. Let's put him in the pack with the Mets. Need some space for looking at some data. And the crowd starts heading towards the exits. They want Seaver to come out of the dugout, and there he comes. Here comes Seaver. There's a crowd. Tom Terrific. There he is. That is his 1969. And not very different from his 1967, almost identical to his 1967. But this is his 69. Yeah. Well, this is his 70. 70 shows you the 69 stats, and that's it. That's the goodbye, Steve. Goodbye, the franchise, Tommy. All right. Let's look and see. Let's finish this up. So, Seaver in this game went 9 innings, got the win. How many hits did he give up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits. No runs, no earned runs. Base on balls. I don't think he had any base on balls. He had 1 intentional walk and 3 strikeouts. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. All right. Excuse me. All right. So he gets a win. And that was 9, 8, 0, 0, 1, and 3. Number 33. 4. Excuse me, 34. All right. So we're going to add these up. 20, 29, 29, 38, 38.2. And we're going to have 19, 26, 36, 37, 45. Now 6 and 12, 18. That's going to be 5, 11, and 5 is 16. We have 4. And we're going to have 6, 10, 15. And this last month, this was the month of September, Seaver's really done much. He really decreased his number of walks and increase. Well, he didn't increase his. He really didn't strike out a lot in 1983. All right, so now we're going to add them to our totals, and our totals are at the top. So this is going to give Seaver 128. Well, let's start to the left. 3 wins and 2 losses are going to be 13 and 9. 128, actually 129. Look at that. 129. So we get, 129. And then we're going to get 182 plus 45. So that's going to be 227. And then we're going to get 98 runs there. Oh, no, wait, that's wrong. 88 runs. And then we're going to get 75, 76 earned runs. Strikeouts, we're going to get, that's based on balls. We're going to get 54 walks. And 110 is going to be 125 strikeouts. And we're going to pop it in here. Pop. Let's do that. So we're going to do innings pitched. Let me bring that over. Let me move this over so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so innings pitched, he's got 129. And I'm sorry, did I put 129? It's 229. Sorry about that. 229. That didn't seem right because he's got 190, so that's 229. All right, so 229, and he actually went 231. So that's actual, and this is, of course, replay. Innings pitched. The next one is hits. So replay versus actual, he's got 201, and this one's got 227. Then they're going to do home runs. Actual, he had 18. And in this one, he only gave up 9 home runs. Next, we're going to get base on balls. All right, this is for payoff pitch. Let me see if you can see that. So base on balls is going to have replay 54. Actual base on balls was 86. That's interesting because a lot of guys complain that they get a lot of walks. You know, but realistically, you got to be aware that this is a very small sample size of 34 games. But as you can see in APA, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit of shadow. Let me see if I can get rid of the shadow. When I put my hand there, I get the shadow. Let me see how I can fix that. Let me bring this lamp a little bit closer without messing anything up here. There you go. All right. As you can see with APA, this is APA. And this is Strat. Strat with strikeouts, actually, the replay gave me more strikeouts. APA gave me more strikeouts, but only 8 off. So this is like +8. And this over here is like +21. And let's see. Well, we'll look at everything, but let's fill in the strikeouts. So 125 replay, 125 strikeouts. In reality, he had 135. Okay, so strikeouts are very close, within 10. This is pretty much way off. This is way off, and I'm going to go back and double check that. I'm not going to do it right now, but I will double check. Anything that I notice is really like stands out. But as you can see, in the last month, he had 3 starts where he walked nobody. And then he walked 2 and won 1. I mean, that's the way the whole season was, really. He didn't walk a lot of guys. You know, let's see if I got anything else I want to pull up. No, he just did not walk a lot of guys. Yeah, he had 1 walk there. Did I give him a walk in that game? Well, Ozzie Smith did have a walk. I must have missed that one. Let's look at another one. Let's see. Here's against September 3rd against the Cardinals. Let's see if he walks anybody. No walks. The yellows are the walks. So he walked nobody against the Cardinals there. Start 31 against also against the Cardinals. Let's see if he walked anybody. He walked 1 there. He walked 1. And that's the one I didn't give him credit for. That was the same one I didn't give him credit for. So I got to add a walk there. So let's make it 55. Let's see what we got here. Just to double check. I have another page with all the data that I was keeping track of. Yeah, April, he only had 8 walks. The whole month of April. May 11, June 14. That's 25. That's 33 in 3 months. 33. Then in July, he walked 13. 33. That's 46. So this seems to be off. It's off by 10. It's off by 10, so it's 65. So lucky I caught that. Anything that stands out, I go back and I check. So this is where there was a mistake made. I brought the 50. This is the end of August, and then this was my last one here. My last one here only has, so by the end of August, right? Okay, I went from 46 to 50 instead of to 60. Okay, so 60, and then 4 more is 64, plus the one I missed, 65. Okay. 65, but as you can see, he did not walk a lot of guys. There were around 10 walks every month. So that is, question mark right there, the walks. But again, this is a small sample size, and I can't categorize or characterize, these stats. You would have to play this season multiple times and then kind of, average it all out. But as you can see, the strikeouts are very close. They're basically minus 10. This is minus 65, 75, 85, 21. Let's see, the home runs are minus 9. And the hits are plus. So yeah, he did give up a lot of hits. And now we're going to look at the ERA. Now, unfortunately, I don't do the whip. I got to figure out how to do the whip, because that's really more telling than the ERA. But he is plus 26 on the hits. Appa was actually plus 3. That's how close they got. Strat was minus 10. And then, of course, plus 26 is the farthest one away. This is the farthest one away. Strat was minus 7 on home runs. And Appa was only plus 1 on home runs. That's Appa basic, by the way. Then on base on balls, of course, this was almost identical. They were actually minus 1, Strat. Appa was minus 8. So Strat wins here. And then strikeouts, Strat was plus 21. Appa was plus 8. And payoff pitch is minus 10. So let's look at the ERA. Let me get my, why is it still going? Shut up. Let me get my calculator. Okay, so we're going to do, let's see the runs. Let's look at the runs, total runs. All right. So we did the runs. We had the runs, and then it was 65. That's 75, 81. Because this is the month of September. No, it's here. Okay. 65 plus 75, 76. That's what I got. Hold on a second. 76 and 5. So that's 11, 16. It should be 80, 81. Should have 81 there. All right. And this should have been 60 here. Yeah. And then it became 64, plus I counted one that I missed, so that was 65. So now it's good. 110 plus 15 is 125. 70 plus 18 is 88. All right. That can't be either. Hold on a second. Let's see, 5, 11, 16. It's 81. All right, so I've been tracking every month. I've been tracking his ERA. So his ERA is around 330-ish. So we're going to do 81. We'll do 81. Let's do that. Let's see, 80. I'll uncalculate it. See if we can find it. So 81 times 9 into 228 equals 320 ERA. That's about right. And originally he was 355 ERA. So we're going to do ERA here. Replay is 3.20 and actual is 3.55. So that is minus 20, minus 30, minus 35. Whereas Stratomatic was way lower, almost 30 points lower. 70, at least 75 lower. I'm going to calculate that exactly, but around 75 lower. Actually 50 and 15. So 65 lower. And APBA was plus 70. So APBA was, his ERA was way higher. Actually, the best, closest ERA was the winner was Payoff pitch. But again, the whip is really what I have to calculate. So I got to figure out how to do that. And then I think it's the walks and the hits, walks, hits, innings pitched. And then I can figure out the whips for each of these, which is I really would like to do because ultimately that is really the most important. But as you can see, the biggest difference is the base on balls, which although there was a small mistake made, I mean, it's relative, but it's still, we're still 21 walks off. But this is interesting because a lot of guys say that they're getting a lot of walks with payoff pitch. And it's not showing here on my replay. I actually got fewer walks than normal, which is interesting. I also got fewer home runs than normal. But then I got a fewer home runs with Stratomatic too. He only gave up 11 home runs, and in reality, he gave up 18 home runs. Apple was the only one, which is really the simplest system. You roll 2 dice, you got a result, and that's why it's so accurate. But again, it was not accurate in ERA. But ERA is something that I really shouldn't even. I should really tabulate the whip. I should really tabulate the whip, and I'm trying to see how do you tabulate. Let's see how to tabulate the whip. How to calculate. Tons of guys are watching this saying, I know all that stuff. All right, baseball walks plus hits per inning pitched is a measurement of number of base runners pitcher has allowed. Whip is calculated by adding the number of walks and hits, easy, and dividing the sum by the number of innings pitched. Okay, let's try it. Let's do 78204 by 209. Okay. Let's see what we get. Number of hits. Oh, there's an app that actually does it for you. Hold on a second. No, it's not it though. Yeah, this is it. Whip calculator. Okay. Number of hits, he gave up 204. And number of walks, he gave up 78. This is for APBA. And then number of innings pitched was 209 because I shorted him. My fault. Calculation. What the heck? Where's the answer? Oh, there it is. 134. Actually, 135. 1.35. Okay, what was his actual whip? We'll find that out at the end. Oh, should have wrote it like that. Hold on a second. Because I could make this a little bit larger so I can fit in the actual and the replay whip. So replay 1.35 actual whip. Replay and actual and replay and actual, because this is really ultimately the most important thing here. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Next one is Stratomatic. Stratomatic. Where's my innings pitched? 232. All right, Stratomatic, he pitched 232 innings. All right, so we're going to put 232. 232. And number of walks, he had 85 walks, a few more. And how many hits? He had 191 hits. That's going to be much lower. So Stratomatic was much stingier. Let's calculate. And it's 1.2. So 1.0, no, 1.2. 1.2, really 8. So 1.28, 1.2, which is better. And then we'll find out what his actual is. So 1.28. And now we're going to calculate payoff pitch. Let's see what payoff pitch did. Hits 227. Number of walks 65. And innings pitched 229. Calculate. 1.27. 1.27. Almost a point less than Strat. And then we're going to look at what his actual whip in 1983 was not great. I think it was 1.3. It was not great. He was 38 years old with the Mets. His actual 1.24. His actual is 1.24. 1.24 and 1.24. So I guess the closest whip was payoff pitch. So payoff pitch is probably so far the winner in terms of the whip, loser in terms of the base on balls, loser in terms of the home runs to Appa. The winner for base on balls was Stratomatic. The strikeout winner was Appa. Appa was a strikeout winner. That's pretty amazing. So Appa's a strikeout winner. Strat is the base on balls winner. Home run winner, again, is Appa. Hits winner, 204 to 201, 191. That's 10 off. And that is plus 26. Appa is the winner in hits. But again, look at the innings pitched. I screwed up. 20 fewer innings pitched. So we can't really. He would have probably have 20 innings pitched, let's say a hit per inning. He would have been a little bit off here. It would have been almost the same there. I guess if he's doing 1 per inning or 1.3, so he would have been above. I should calculate that with add the 20 innings that he's missing 20 innings. So that's another 20 hits. So they would have been really close as 131, maybe Stratomatic. Stratomatic may be closer in hits. This really doesn't count. ERA, we shouldn't even count that. They're very close in whip. They're Appa would have been probably above in home runs as well with an extra 20 innings, because he was giving about a home run every 10 innings. So he would have, but they still would have been closer than. So Appa was going to win with home runs on average. Base on balls, Appa was going to be above. Stratomatic wins on base on balls for sure. And Stratomatic is going to probably win on strikeouts. He would probably have another, say he's striking out, give him another 10 strikeouts, 153. So that would be close to, so this is probably a tie with Stratomatic. So based on the corrections here, because of the innings pitched are less, the win, I'd have to go with Stratomatic in terms of so far the most accurate gameplay in the time. Of course, the whip is almost close. I mean, the whip is a little bit, the replay is a +4 points, I guess, or I guess the back end points. And then this is +3. So the closest whip, though, the worst one is this one. This is a whole point difference. And then on this one here, you got, this is the closest whip really. So payoff pitch holds its own on the whip, but only because they gave a lot more hits and many fewer base on balls. And again, I went over the stats with that, and I showed you specifically why I believe, I mean, I made a mistake at the end in the last, but you can see every month he just wasn't giving up a lot of walks. 8 in the whole month of April, 11 in the month of May. That's like, you're talking about, 5-6 starts. So he's given up about a walk to 2 walks the most in the whole season. So that's why his walks, and after the first 3 months, he only had 33 walks. 25 plus 8, 33. So I can go back and I can check my stats like that. So here he would have 46, 33. This is the month of July. 33 plus 13 is 46. Then that's where I have to add the 60. In other words, 14 more. Only 14, 8, 9, 14 in the month of August. And I got to add the 14 to that. That's where I made my mistake. It makes 60. Right, here's the 60. And then in the last few games, where here it is, the last month, he only had 4 walks, which is mind-bending. He had 3 games with no walks. He had, let's see. I can pull this out. Now, games that I'd like to try to do this with, really, because I mean, payoff pitch is a new game. Payoff pitch is a new game. Appa is an old game, but it's a very basic game. It's very, very basic. But it really, I mean, it holds its own. It gives you a realistic result. Stratomatic has a sim engine. Stratomatic has a sim engine, and it allows you to. They can really tweak and perfect their system. And also, their system's never really been changed. They've added depth, advanced, and super advanced, but it's never really changed in terms of the foundation, which is mathematically, strong. So payoff pitch is the newest one, and they hold their own. They give you realistic results. I mean, everything's fairly close. I try to use actual lineups. The whip is almost dead on. Replay 1.27, actuality 1.24. So it's almost dead on. So the whip is good. The walks are a little bit low, but again, this is a small sample size of 34 games. Remember, 34 games total with each system. Not really enough to really say. I would have to play this again, play this again, play this again. And this could be, you see, this one could be simmed. You could sim. This could be simmed as well. You could sim this one. You could sim this one. Can't sim this one. I would have to play pop again. But I get the sim for that. I get the sim for that. Results. And then I could compete. I could compare it against the dice of payoff pitch. But I don't know if that I have that in me. All right. But so far, the game that if you ask me which of these three, basic, Stratomatic basic, and pop, there's only one basic. If you were to ask me, I would say, you know what, Strat has the best chance of fine-tuning their system because they have a sim engine. But so does APA. But again, this is the original game and created in the 50s, and I think really the minor changes that they've made over 50, 60 years are really pretty mind-bending. That's all the little small minor tweaks, but nothing. So the game pretty much remains the same for 70 years. Stratomatic pretty much as well, but they've been able to perfect it and improve it, and throughout, and it's based on fundamental math, so you're not going to screw up too much. I mean, you can't, 50% is 50%. Of course, you're going to get hot and cold dice and so on, but that's the nature of the beast. But again, have a based on balls concerned, which I will go back and I will organize the papers and I will double check, and if I have to make a correction, I will make a correction. But this was lower, and normally the complaint is that, hey, there's so many walks. Well, guess what? Not in my replay. So what does that say? It says that we need more. We need to play more games. We need to play another season, and then we have to measure again. I did a couple other seasons, and I don't know that I have the stats for that. I did 2 DeGrom seasons back to back, and I did 1 Bartolo Colon season. I don't know where I have the stats for that, but I'd like to do that and compare those. And I remember just off the top of my head that DeGrom was very, very close in pretty much everything. There was really nothing that really was not, close. And that's it. That's it for the Seaver experiment. I'm going to take probably a little break from Payoff Pitch. I'm learning a new game, Fall Classic. And I don't know that I'm going to do anything else and have some fun and play some different games right now. And every so often I'll broadcast one, do a tutorial for another, and just broadcast one for fun every so often. But this is CP Cards and Dice. I hope this is giving you some basic ideas of what we're dealing with. Again, I figured out the whip today, something I hadn't done before. And as you can see, the whip that was the most off was, of course, the APA basic whip. It was, I guess, a point off. Or a tenth, I guess a tenth of a point off is what you want to call it. I'm not a great mathematician, but that's about it. And this is CP Cards and Dice saying hasta la vista. See you replay. Goodbye, Tom.